Hi, my name is Tyrus McKnight. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Please download Anchor, the free podcast app, and go to Anchor FM to get started.
Hello.
Hi, Nydia.
Hey,
How's your day going?
it's going pretty well.
That's good.
Just
That's good.
relaxing.
That's good. You sound relaxed. Did you get a
Yeah.
massage? Did you get a
No,
massage or something?
no, it's just tired. Just had a long day, that's all.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna try to get you out of here as fast as we can.
Hmm.
Um, but tonight, tonight what inspired me to want to do this about healthy relationships, and I want to talk about it from a friendship level, from a social level, from a professional level, and from a romantic level. Is that I've been seeing a lot of posts on Facebook about people having depression, and a couple of friends of mine having depression and talking about actually wanting to leave this world, actually. And I just wanted to, we both come from a mental health background. So I really wanted to, I thought this would be a very important episode to just bring to the forefront and just see how everybody is doing, especially in this pandemic. And from a friendship standpoint, could you define to me in your terms what's defined as having a healthy friendship with somebody?
I think healthy friendships
Hmm.
involves to have a healthy friendship, you have to understand each other's like cues of like understand each other personalities, know each other personalities,
Hmm.
also accept with one person um can take and not take, like how to not go so far. um Also understand boundaries and to respect each other, to protect, to also respect, protect, and connect one another with words, just positive vibrations, and just being there. To me, that's my definition of a healthy friendship, because those are things that I need to sustain my friendships. I know my friends. I know
Hmm.
when there are certain conversations, because all of us have certain friends we have certain conversations with. You know, we all have certain friends that we tell certain things to, and that's not just because we don't want the other person to know. It's because we know that different friends go through different relationships and different have different experiences, and some of those experiences are good, some are bad, some are traumatic. So having conversations sometimes can trigger certain things. So I know my friends want them to know that, okay, this is not a conversation that I can have with this particular friend. I may let her
Hmm.
know some information, but not all of it. I know that I can't just there's um a way to correct my friend when she's wrong or when he's wrong. you know you do that in private, not in public. Or when you do it in
Right.
public, there's a certain way to do it because you don't want to trigger any emotion. It's all about setting those boundaries.
Hmm. And I totally agree with you on that. If you don't mind me asking, are all your friends in your circle, is everybody a friend of each other? Is it like
Yeah, so the crazy part about it, a lot of my friends honestly are either from elementary and high school. And even I have two friends from college that I'm very, very close to. And they are friends with my friends, except for my two new friends within the last 2 years. So my last two friends within the last 2 years, and mind you, I do not call everybody my friend. I
Right.
literally can't count my friends on my hand. You have, you know, one hand has 5 fingers. That's how many friends I have. And so, like, that I talk to on a daily basis. So, about those friends, I have like, no, it's like 7 friends. 3 of them, 4 of them know each other for a while. They actually been knowing each other. Once I got to college, they've been knowing each other before I even knew they knew each other. And then my other 2 friends, just they're not friends with them, but they're cordial with them, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
My
get that.
circle is very small.
So you have like so you have a lot of long
Yes.
lasting friendships.
Yes. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
So how do you go about choosing your friends?
So basically, all right, so I'll take a memory, like go back. So there was a point in time where I'm a very sociable person, but I'm not so sociable. So there was a time where I was very sociable, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, that's my friend. Oh, that's my friend. That's my friend. That's my friend." You realize, honestly, for
Hmm.
me, I realized who were truly in my circle and who meant well to me when I went through something, when I went through an experience.
Hmm.
And when I went through that, it wasn't like it was one thing. There was a year where I had several experiences back to back. And I had to, and I literally was looking at the people who was there for me. And it wasn't until 2 years after two experiences happened within the same year, and then 2 years later another experience happened, and then amidst of that I had to realize that, damn, like, hmm, they really don't rock with me like that, you know.
Hmm.
So it was one of those things, like, when they needed me I was always accessible, but when I needed them they were not. And not only that, it was more so of other situation things that were happening that I realized that they were more a friend to someone else than to me. So what I did was, sometimes, praying does answer. But then also I tell, individuals all the time that sometimes the universe give you cues that that you don't know of, or you don't really take heed to. And so with the praying and then with those cues and those, like, some people call them signs or whatever the case may be, they pretty much disappear on their own, you know, without me even having to
Hmm.
cut them, because I knew they didn't mean any well. So personally, I don't go looking for friends. That's one thing I do not do. It just so happened that the two new friends within my circle within the last like 3 or 4 years, it was their energy that I just appreciated. It was their genuineness that I appreciated. And one just happened to be a work friend, a co-worker who ended up being a great friend of mine. And I normally don't do the whole work friend relationship, but I knew that this person was different, and just
Hmm.
genuine, and just very um, meant well all around. And so I continue to
Hmm.
develop that friendship. Mind you, there are people that you work with within those 8, 9 hours a day that you talk to literally about anything and everything. You just have conversations, especially females. Although you're careful of what you talk about and how you have in those conversations. But, the type of work that I do, being a social worker, being in the mental health field, we're working more than 8 hours a day. So you're in the office with these people 10, 11 hours during the day, and you having all sorts of
Hmm.
conversations. So,
Yeah.
so this is how this friendship developed, and that's that. And then the one I met before her, we met in grad school, just off so besides that, majority of my friends are literally childhood, high school.
Okay. Tell me, have you ever had this experience? Because I experienced this a lot. And myself, I'm kind of standoffish when I first meet people. But sometimes I try my best not to like somebody, and they just keep on coming. Like I give them every signal, like, leave me alone, but they just keep on coming. Then eventually we become like the best of friends. Have you ever had that type of experience? Like, you just be like,
Not
oh, no.
really with I have those people with like more men, like not so more of a friendship, but they're trying to get to know me. But when it comes to females, I don't
Okay.
go seeking relationships or friendships with females. I just don't. Because that just I just don't. I'm not one person who would say I don't like females. I know some people say, oh, I don't like girls, I don't like girls. But I'm not one seek relationship because I just know that some females are not genuine. And then I put
Mhm.
people in categories. So I have my friends, like I said, my childhood, my high school friends. But then I have my networking friends too. My and I have my
Oh,
and,
okay.
and I have girls that I travel with. But those girls that are my networking friends, I don't invite them into my personal friends, if that makes sense. I don't mix the two up. I keep them exactly where I
Hmm.
keep networking and business that. I keep personal personal. The girls that I travel with, we don't invite really other people to travel with us. One girl, she does, because she's like the chair of the planning committee. Like, she will plan the trips or whatever. She may invite one person, but we all end up getting along. But we don't really invite, like, oh girl, invite your home girl. I don't do that, you know because I have learned also just through conversations that sometimes you can't travel with your closest friends. It's not really meant to be like that. So I keep my personal friends personal. I keep my networking as network. I don't basically, I don't trade, I don't pour them in other places, so yeah. And I'm the type of person that I feel vibes, I feel energy. So when I know that a person is not my cup of tea, I don't try to be like, I don't try to have that feeling or have that saying, well, let me see something right quick because I may be tripping. When you feel, oh, that's all I need to know. And I try not to put myself in situations like that. Before I'm invited to something, before like a hangout, a gathering, if I'm second guessing it, then I ain't going. And that's just what it is.
Hmm. So for you, it's more like instincts
Absolutely.
on
Yeah.
how to choose
Yeah.
friends. Okay. So has your friends ever um, confided in you about suicidal thoughts or anything like that before?
Yeah. I have.
And if so, how did you handle it?
I
How
had
did
a
you
male
handle that?
friend who had confided in me, and you know, not that he had it at that moment while we were on the phone. He had it before in his
Mhm.
life, and although he wasn't suicidal on the phone, I still, because of my position and because of my, career, I still did a risk assessment and gave, him numbers or whatever. I myself, I have anxiety, and sometimes my anxiety can go in depression. So I make sure I have friends, mothers postpartum, um, friends overwhelmed with just going on relationship issues. So for them, I just, talk to them about what to look out for, knowing that if your body is experiencing things that some certain emotions that you have not experienced before, that's when you know that something is wrong. When you being triggered by just things you have been triggered before, that's when you know something is happening. So I let them know that sometimes, we are doing things like, that we haven't dealt with before, or experiencing things we have experienced before. That's when you need to probably start talking to someone, and
Mhm.
sharing those conversations, like, okay, this is what I'm experiencing, I don't know what to do. Don't try to take measures in your own hand, because a lot of us tend to sometimes
Right.
self heal. Self-heal meaning that we try to self-medicate, try to fix our own issues. And sometimes, and I'm saying me being like I said, me being a mental health field, there are certain things that I cannot self-heal. I have to seek another therapist. You know, social
Mm-hmm.
workers do have social
Right.
workers. Social workers do have counselors. Counselors have social workers, counselors, vice versa. All of us talk to somebody, because of the things that we see on a daily basis. So I just tell my friends to listen to their bodies. What is it that your body is rejecting? And rejecting doesn't have to be a physical thing. It could be an emotion or a spiritual thing, you know?
Hmm. I get that. I get that. I get that. So so as far as social media is concerned, how do you feel about people venting on
I
social
don't like
media
it. I
about their
I don't
mental
think that they
problems?
should.
Right.
I know that some people do it to be transparent. I think it's a way to do
Right.
it. Like
Hmm.
I said, I'm one who have anxiety or whatever. I don't really share my experience with anxiety, but I do talk about anxiety. I may say some things like, "Oh, this worked for me," to telling you what's worked for you, but I have not yet put my full story out there. How like my experience with anxiety, because I'm not ready to do that. But I know that some people on social media does things very distasteful. Like for example, I was watching a video on TikTok and this girl is having a video of when her baby's father got into it. He threw all this about the house, the baby crying. I'm like, why would you post this on TikTok? You know, I think
Hmm.
that sometimes certain things should just be. I actually miss Facebook when it was we had to have a college email address. That's when Facebook was on and
Yeah.
popping.
Right.
Facebook right now,
Right.
I don't know. Instagram now you can have different business pages and you can just put anything out there. I don't personally care for that. You know, some people may think differently as far as it relates to, putting your own personal testimony. But I think is a difference between your personal testimony and your personal life. Like, it's me
Yeah.
saying yes. It's a difference between me saying, yes, I'm a single mother. I went through this experience, but this is how I got out of it. This is what you can do too. If you need resources, click the link below. Yada yada yada. That's one thing. But to say I'm a single
Right.
mother, um, showing videos of my baby daddy, he ain't crap. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's a way of
Yeah.
to share your stories. I think that people go on Facebook. I remember reading a post just earlier today. A Facebook friend of mine. And mind you, I've been deleting people left and right on Facebook. I mean, a long
Hmm.
paragraph just about her and what she's going through, and I'm just like, girl, like you have to not share all of that. You know, you should have not people posting just all kind of photos. Like, come on now, like, I have always told my family when they post stuff, I was like, let me tell you something. You posting stuff, and I understand it's on your page, but please understand, people know that you're now are related, whatever way it is. So you are a reflection of me. When they see that, they're gonna think of
Right.
me. Oh, that's media so and so. I don't got time for all that.
Right.
Your business is your business, but at the same time, though, you posting that shit, who they gonna be calling or texting? Me.
Me.
So I don't
Right.
like all that venting and all that.
Le-
I feel like there's a way to do that. It's a tasteful way to do it.
Right. I totally agree with you on that. And, and I don't know how things work in certain circles, but when you're viewed as somebody that's strong or somebody that doesn't like really let some things that bother them in life, people kind of come to you a lot, but it's kind of hard for you to kind of confide in somebody when you're viewed as somebody being strong? Because once you got that mantle, you really don't want to lose it. You know what I'm saying? You really don't want somebody looking down at you as like being weak or anything like that, or somebody that you can't depend on. How would you suggest somebody that's viewed as strong to go about seeking help from other people or leaning on other people in times of need?
To do it, to just do it.
Mm,
Sometimes you have to be that person, and I'm gonna share something that I have always been the strong friend, the friend who's very accessible. I have all the answers. Someone will call and say, "Oh, Nidia, da da da." I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, da da da," things like that. It wasn't
mm,
until 2017 when I was like, "Okay, I need to talk to someone," because it was so much that was happening within the last 3 years of that 17 on back that I was holding in, and I was always like the strong one. I was holding a lot of emotion. Mind you, I'm a writer, so I would journal write and things like that, but for some reason that was not helping. Okay? I
mm,
literally, when I went and I just happened to know someone who's a therapist, and I called this individual. I met with this person. Literally, the of my first session with this person, the first 30 minutes I cried because
mm,
it was so much built up that I didn't realize I had all of these things lingering in my head. You know, I just had to do something. And it was my supervisor at that time who was like, Nidia, you have to talk to somebody. You can't keep holding all of this in, you know? And so I did. And, it was a process and everything because I'm like, oh, I'm a social worker. I don't need to talk to nobody. I can't fix myself.
mm.
No, baby. No,
Right.
that didn't happen. And I'm just so grateful that I did that. So I pray? Absolutely. I pray, but I also seek therapy too. Um, because you need that outlet. You need that person who's not biased to listen to help you rationalize your thoughts. You know, there are certain things that I will hold in until I speak to my therapist, or I will write in. Because I feel like sometimes
Mm,
your friends are not your therapist. Your friends are your friends. So I had to literally
right.
separate from venting to friends to talk to my therapist. You know, because your friends gonna rationalize. Because sometimes with your friends, when you, let's say for example, you vented about a boyfriend, your friend may be going through something with her boyfriend, her husband. So you venting, she pissed, she gonna tell you something bad, But I'm grateful that I
Yeah.
have friends who have said, who would say, Media, I just got into arguing with so and so. I can't give you the advice you want right now because I'm pissed. I'll be like, you know what? I'm grateful
Right.
for you letting me know that. Let me go ahead and make an appointment with my therapist. And so like, or you write it down, whatever the case may be. And there are times where even me having a therapist, and I still feel like, everyone comes to who needy you have to talk to. Besides
Mm,
God, besides my therapist, besides journaling, who I can talk to. The answer
mm,
is no one. Although people would say, "Oh, call me if you need me." Oh, I'm always saying, you could call me. Oh, girl, you could call me. I'm here. But even though people still say that, the
mm,
accessibility to them and how they are to me is not the same. And some people, and that is what it
mm.
is. So I just, and I mean, some people may agree with me on that. Some people may. I think that most strong people are the people that don't have don't have an outlet for themselves.
Ooh. Okay now. That was deep. That was deep. I gotta keep that in my head. Gotta keep that in my head. The strongest people are the ones that don't have an outlet for themselves. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting when you think about it. Okay. So segue. Oh, okay. So one more question with friendship. As far as you said something about you praying a lot. I mean, myself, I pray 5 times a day. You know, sometimes more than that. But like you said, you need other people to talk to and things like that. What do you say to people that's, I'm not gonna talk to no therapist. I'm gonna talk to a guy. They don't need no therapist. They're gonna go to church. They're gonna do whatever else. They're gonna confide in their religion before they seek therapy. What do you say to those people?
I say if if that's your choice, then that
Hmm.
I'm okay with that. You know,
Okay.
my job is to assist people to arrive at their own answer. So if their answer is
Hmm.
talking, is praying, and they don't want to speak to a physical person, I'm okay with that. If that works for them, that is fine. Until they tell me that it's not working.
Ah,
You
okay.
know, the only thing that I add at the end is giving them information about talking. There are numbers you can call to talk to someone like anonymously and things like that. But you know I know based on my faith that God is a counselor too, you know. So I too myself talk to God when I can't get in touch with my counselor or my therapist, or even when there's no need for me to talk to my therapist. I have conversations with the Lord, you know. So if someone says me on this media, I don't do X, Y, and Z. Like, I pray, I go to church. I am okay with that because that works for them. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here till you telling me exactly what's needed and what's done. I ask you a question, you give me an answer, and I say, what do you feel like is best for you to do? How you want to fix this? And if praying works for you, I am okay with that because prayers answer. You know,
Hmm.
it's okay. I'm totally okay with that.
Okay. So let's transition into professional relationships. Professional relationship. How would you define a healthy professional relationship?
You know what? That's a good question. I think right now that given times where we are right now, we're working from home. Um,
Hmm.
it's I feel like sometimes you can cross lines between professional and some people. It's professional means nothing personal, but then I have been in a
Hmm.
situation where professionals have taken things personal.
Right.
So,
Right.
and I'm like, home girl, I don't know what's wrong with you or whatever the case may be, but obviously something working on your end, that's something you have to fix. But, I feel like, especially when it comes to deadlines and, you know, being, people's situations are different now, working from home, taking care of parents, taking care of children or whatever, you may need more time on this. And I think that sometimes some higher up professionals don't understand that or whatever the case
Mhm.
may be. I really don't know. I think that I can't honestly from experience, but I have had situations where professionals have taken things too personal, and when I sense
Mm.
that, I'm like, are you okay? Because obviously, like, you something you hit a something hit a nerve, like, so, and I'm seeing that more given that I'm working from home because we're constantly on the phone or emailing or whatever. I check tones, whether it's through email or phone, verbal and nonverbal cues, and whatever the case may be. So that's why and that's the reason why, like I said before, my friend who was a coworker now, who's one of my very very great friends, that I
Mm.
I didn't have I never I just knew I was going to have that problem with her. But there are some
Mm.
people who I do work with that I know that I can be personal with. Like, nah, you straight. Like, yeah, nah, you straight.
Yeah.
We talk in the office, we whatever, but personal, no, you straight.
Yeah. But just working in corporate America and
Yeah.
at a job and things of that nature. Do you think that is kind of like somewhat of a setback if you don't mingle with people and kind of be a little bit personal, kind of share a little bit of your story with
You
them?
could
You think it's
share,
a
but don't
setback?
share too much. You share what
Hmm.
is only needed to be shared. Hi, my name is Nidia. I'm from New Orleans. I'm such and such. I work here. I work there. Oh yeah, I like red wine. Yeah, cool. Okay, yeah, that's it. You don't need to know my sister name, my mama name, what I did. All those extracurricular activities. They ain't none of your business.
Right.
Financially, what I'm doing, buying a house and all that. No, how the process going. You need to know none of that.
Or even coming to my house for that matter.
No.
You don't
You
need
know
to
what I'm
know
saying?
that.
Like, there's certain things you
Yeah.
just don't need to know. Well, I'm going on vacation, why I'm taking off. No, certain things you just don't need to know. That's all. Oh, I'll do a happy hour, but I do a happy hour with certain people.
Hmm. Okay. Certain
Mm-hmm.
people. Hmm. Or would any of those people ever be like a supervisor or somebody that's
Yeah.
yeah? Okay.
Not, I wouldn't, no, once you get a step up, I'm not drinking with you.
Hmm. Okay.
Like, I just, that's for my sake. I have boundaries. Like, yeah, like I don't. I think conversation, like a lot of things, just change. Cause
Hmm.
the truth of the matter is, you know, if you was in, let's say you had somebody who's in the same position as you there, and they become a supervisor, they're
Hmm.
your overseer. I hate to use that word. It sounds like slaves. Like,
Oh
like I
yeah.
hate to use that
Yeah.
word.
But it's kind of accurate
Yeah,
though.
so
It's kind of
yeah,
accurate.
I'm not gonna, we're not gonna be going to happy hour. We're not gonna be doing that because the roles has changed. You know, like no, we can't be. That's just me though. I have worked in a position some years ago. I have worked at a very high end retail store, and I remember the store manager, her partner was a lawyer, and we used to go out whatever. And one day she didn't go out with
Mhm.
us, and then it became one day, and became another day, another day. So me just being Hawaiian, I was like, "Hey, what's up? Why are you so?" She was like, "Well, Then my partner was like, because of my position, I shouldn't be really hanging with y'all, whatever like that." I didn't get offended. I said, "You know what?
Mhm.
She right." And she looked at me. She said, "What?" I said, "She right." I said, "You shouldn't be." She was like, "Yeah, but I like you." I was like, "We like you too. We want to hang with you too, but your girl is right though. You shouldn't be. It's a different kind of caliber. It's a different
Mhm.
level. You are overseer. So it's like you can be partying and drinking with us when you gotta be at work by
Cause
7. We crawling in and we coming in at 10 o'clock.
mm,
you know, like
yeah,
so it's just a different level. And
we
not
use that
saying that
word.
she's better because she's not. It's just like you have different responsibilities. People are looking at you differently. That's just how, for example, when I was like campus queen, I was Miss Suno or whatever, or when I became a Delta, there were certain things that I cannot do because of the position that I held. If that makes sense. You
Mm.
know?
Explain that. Explain that because I'm not into. I wasn't really into the word. I was kind of there, but I wasn't really there. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
No, it
Like I'm
just
not.
it's just how you have to you just carry yourself. And mind you, I have always been a lady, always been polished, always been a conservative, X, Y, and Z. So
Mm.
so the letters don't make me, I make them, at the end of the day.
Mm.
But it's how you wear. I
Mm.
can't be representing DST and I'm acting a plump fool in the middle of the streets. You
Now,
know,
now,
I can't
now,
be Miss
Lydia.
Suno with a crown on my head and a sash on, but I'm twerking. You
Now,
know what I'm saying? I'm
now,
engaging in
now,
different,
Lydia.
so you just hold yourself to
Now,
so
Lydia.
what?
Lydia. Lydia.
What?
Lydia. I done heard some things about them deltas. Nah.
Well, whatever you heard, whatever you heard, whatever chapter it is, that is what it is. I'm grown up. That was all undergrad.
Okay.
Like, they ain't got nothing to do with me now. Like,
Okay.
so
All right.
all Greek sorority fraternities, we all of us have done something or have said something, whereas face to face over social media, a group of us, we all had our moments where we did something. We're human. We all did some shit. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, when you're in a different position, when you're different these high positions, you have to hold yourself in that high position. It doesn't mean that you're better than somebody. It just means that you just on a different level. It's just you just have to see things differently. You do things differently, and there's nothing wrong with that. People may take it as because I had she thinks y'all like I never not one bit thought I was better than the next person. You thought I was better than the next person, not me. So now how you feel about me ain't got nothing to do with me.
But once you reach a certain level at a job or whatever, what is your responsibility then? Because then I would think my responsibility would be to grab a hold of one of those people that I think that I made my associate or that I've gravitated towards to show them how to become or get into that position.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
Okay.
But the question is, how many of us really do that though?
Not many.
Exactly.
Not many, because from the standpoint, it's almost like once people get a position, they're like, yeah, we still cool enough, but I can't really fool with you like that. I'm not gonna really show you the ropes on how I got here because
see, my whole thing is,
then
and I'm being honest, like I'm a natural born leader at what it is. So I already carry myself like I'm in that position. Like that is how I am. I've always been that way, always.
Right.
So I don't be tripping.
All right. That's good stuff right there. Now, let's transition on to romantic relationship. What is a healthy romantic relationship in your opinion?
I think now a healthy romantic relationship is whatever you guys think it should be. To value someone, to trust someone, to honor and respect them. I'm sorry. To value, to respect, and to just have an honest, healthy relationship. What makes a romantic relationship? To understand each other's needs and wants. That's what make it healthy. That what makes it long lasting. But as far as the romantic part is whatever you guys make it to be. That's a conversation. So whatever I want romantically and whatever he wants romantically, if we're on the same page or whatever, then yeah, we will, it's to me it's not of a compromise, it's more of a collaboration. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is.
Cooperation. I've been saying that to people, and people have been telling me I've been wrong. I was like, I don't like that word compromise.
Yeah,
I like cooperation.
I said collaboration.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, I feel like
I think we mean the same thing, but we just saying different ways.
Absolutely. Yeah, correct. So, yeah, when it comes like romantic is whatever, you're to is satisfying your partner, whatever needs that is. But overall, the relationship is to be honest, to be healthy, to value, and to respect one another.
Okay. So you use that word respect a lot. Do you think there's a lot of respect in relationships nowadays? No.
Nope.
Why do you think that is?
I think this is I think it's the world that we live in. I honestly feel like, and I'll put myself in it, and using, and also in general, I think a lot of us is just we get too comfortable being too freely.
What do you mean by that?
Meaning that I'm in a relationship, but I can still do what I want. I think it's too much of that. I think that I don't think a lot of us really value people how we used to. Like, I know that my mama value my daddy and vice versa. Despite whatever they've been through, I know that there was still some value there. I don't think that we value people that we say that we do. Like, I love you, I respect you, I want to be with you.
Then we start disrespecting them.
Yeah. So how can you disrespect me, but you love me? That don't go hand in hand.
Correct.
How can you love me and you constantly are disappointed me? How do you do that to people, to someone that you say that you love? So then my question would be, what is your definition of love?
Hmm. My definition of love would be to trust somebody and to also being willing to lay my life on the line for them, protection, and give them protection. I think that's love, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But lately, I've been challenged on that because somebody told me, and I had to agree with it. And they came correct with it. They said, okay, so your definition may not be my definition of love. So if love meaning all these different things, if love can mean anything, then it really means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But one word that you kept on bringing up was respect. Respect. For me, I would rather have somebody's respect than their love.
I totally agree with you. I'd rather have you be loyal to me.
Right?
I would rather you to value me as a person than to love me. Because I feel like people are already loved, and it is me. Because I believe in God and God is love, and we all are God's children. You are already loved. Okay,
Right.
I'm just gonna put it that way. But there is a difference between loving someone and being in love with someone. I get that. But
Hmm.
before you are in love with me, I want you to value and respect me, not only as a woman, but as a person, as a human being. Because I understand that in relationships and friendships and situationships and all that good shit, that you're going to be hurt, disappointed one way or the other. Someone is going to hurt your feelings without hurting your feelings. Someone is going to, say something you don't like. I get that. I got that. But when you hurt my feelings, I want to be able to have a conversation. Okay, sweetie, but you say this that hurt my feelings, but I still respect you and I still love you.
Hmm.
I don't
Not,
think that I don't think a lot of us get that. I think a lot of us be like, oh, that bitch respected me, or fuck that hoe, and they go do something to be even more disrespectful.
yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, like, she's disrespecting me. How?
and
Exactly.
like how, like, just it could be anything. Like, I think that some people get disrespected or get hurt and feel like, okay, you hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you even worse.
Yeah.
So where there's like, you know, you talking to somebody you're not supposed to be talking to, you doing something and the it's always something that you're
Mm.
not supposed to be doing. So if you know that you're not supposed to be, and you're not supposed to be, you're supposed to be home at least by midnight, and you come home at 1:30 in the morning. Okay, you will come at 1:30 in the morning, but next week I'm gonna come at 4 or 5 in the morning. So it comes like the catch. It comes like that play catch.
Yeah.
Oh, I found that you DMing that girl on Instagram. Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and DM my ex little boo and see what he talk about. I'm gonna say hi, how you doing? So it's like
Yeah.
a tit for tat. Who got
Yeah.
time for that? I feel like we too old for that.
Yeah. I think we are too. I think in my last situation, I was like one thing that, and she said she respected me for this because I didn't disrespect her in any type of way, and I put her in a place, and I didn't disrespect her in any type of way. And I'm not with the name calling, and I'm to the point in my life where I'm not about to get ready to go do no yelling, no back and forth with you. And I've been taught that, women, they're gonna test your boundaries just to see if you are the man that you say you are. And I get that. That's okay. But I told her that. I said, I understand you want to test my boundaries, but I'm gonna respect you and you're gonna respect me going forward. And you're not gonna curse at me anymore. And we're gonna use respectable language towards each other. And that's how we're going to operate from now on. And she was like, wow. And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not about to get ready to go through all of that because I'm just not. I'm just not.
No, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? So it's 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 just certain things like I think how you said like you gotta set boundaries and you gotta let people know where you're coming from. And people that try to test those boundaries, you gotta let them know, listen, this is not gonna be cool going forward. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna show you that it's not gonna be cool going forward. Not in the sense of somebody like physically harming somebody or somebody trying to play tit for tat. I'm gonna set this boundary, and if you don't follow it, then that's okay. Then we could just never speak together again in life,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And speaking of which, when do you think when a relationship is over? When do you think? How do you know when a relationship is over? How do you know when it's time to dissolve a relationship?
When you mentally checked out.
Hmm. Describe that for me. It's a little bit more.
When you just like, fuck it. Truly speaking, honestly, the minute that you have that thought, it's just like, yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Hmm.
Like you just, especially when you just like, you don't really get turned on that much and you don't want, the physical is not there. Like you just doing it just because.
Right.
But most women, I know for myself, my last relationship, I just checked out. There was a time I knew that I was becoming unhappy. So I was doing things to try to be happy, you know. But I was like, and at one point I just literally mentally checked out. I was like, fuck this shit. Literally. I was like that.
Hmm.
But it still took me an additional 6 months, I think, when I thought that, to get out of it.
Why?
Um, because when I initially wanted to break up the first time, I was told by him, "No, we're gonna be all right. Let's work on it." And then, literally, like 4 months after that, that's when we broke up.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So you still had some hope somewhere, saying somewhere along the line you had some hope, but
yeah,
you
I
were like,
did. Yeah, I
mm,
did. I was like, okay, because I understand people go through up and downs. I got that,
mm-hmm.
but I was like, well, shit. How many downs we gonna go through before we get up? So our up moment didn't last for a time. That yeah, it didn't. Once we was up, by the time the up was up, we already was down, and I was like, fuck this shit.
Describe up moment for me, like in a relationship, on a woman from a woman's perspective. What when a woman says we're up in a relationship, what does she mean by that?
It's like you almost kind of back in a honeymoon stage. Are you trying to get there? Like there is some excitement that's going on, but it's not really satisfying though. You
Okay.
just like you're happy, smiling, you're talking, you know,
Are you
the
are you
the sex
communicating
has
during that time?
yeah, but it's almost like a mind thing. Like it's almost like, yeah, we good, we good,
Mm-hmm.
but you're really not though. You just accepting what it is that you think that's good, but it's not really what you deserve, truly speaking.
Yeah, man. That's interesting. That's interesting because when I'm going through the motions, I'm always like, I don't think I'm ever mentally checked out. I think I'm mentally aware of the situation, and I'm just like, what can I do to try to fix this? But hmm,
Yeah, no, I check out. I mean, like, I'm over it. Let's
mm,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
okay, all right, well. think we had a healthy conversation tonight, as always. Nah, go leave us with a positive word, Nydia.
A
If you
positive
don't
word
mind.
would just be just be positive, you
Mm,
know? Be positive, stay positive, remain positive. Whatever positivity that is coming within your life, keep it. Um, Whoever makes you smile, you know, I pray that person continues to make you smile. Whatever you're reading that brings you joy, keep reading that brings you joy. Whatever makes you twirl and twiddle, I hope that you continue to twirl and twiddle. You know, whether it's an emotional thing, a physical thing, or a spiritual thing. You know, just remain positive. You know, whatever brings you light and love, I hope that continues to bring you light and love.
mm, that was good. Now, mine would be, um, I know there's people that actually follow me on Facebook and that's actually personal to me that listen to this show. And if you're listening right now, this includes you, Nydia.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can actually call me if you're going through something. If you need to vent, and I know people are saying that, I don't want to put all that on your shoulders. Listen, put it on my shoulders because I understand everybody needs somebody to talk to. I do not mind that at any time of the night talking to you because I'm probably up anyway because I work strange hours anyway. But call me, text me, be like, hey, are you up? I need to talk. Call me and let me know. And I don't mind doing that for you because it's a pandemic going on right now. I understand times are hard. Things could get hard being inside the house, not really being sociable and things of that nature. Call me, let me know what's going on with you. And trust me, I got your back. Trust me, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being said, also, I got my book on Amazon. It's going to be coming October 12th. I just dropped the trailer for that. You guys go on YouTube. It's called The 13th Patient. It's a book called 13th Patient. It's based on true events. And you guys go check that out. And thank everyone for joining us tonight. We just gave you all a game. Have a good night.
Good night.